So if you guys remember a while ago, I did a few videos on the first big weapon stat tweaks on CTE, around the same time when Dragon's Teeth was just released if my memory is correct. Well, it's that time again. There's been another massive flood of weapon tweaks to almost every single weapon in the game. Also, the suppression mechanic has been completely overhauled. Completely forget what you know about the suppression because it's all been changed on CTE. And with the massive list of tweaks, it's impossible to put all in one video, so I'm going to break it down in maybe 2 or 3 videos. Also the fact that it's on CTE and it's not set in stone. Also, before I begin, I just want to quickly thank a YouTuber called Marble Duck for providing me with most of the stat changes. His channel is linked down below if you want to check him out. He always posts really informative content. You may have noticed in the gameplay I'm mainly using the RPK-74M. I'll explain why later I'm using this LMG, but basically it's been completely reworked and now it's actually a really good mag-fed LMG. Anyway though, like I said, I can't mention every stat, but I'll cover the most important tweaks. Most assault rifles have been basically nerfed, to put it simply, in terms of increased recoil, and their maximum spread while aiming down sight has gone up to 1.7 from 1.5, and that's a global change which applies to every single assault rifle. This means if you hold down the trigger for too long, your bullets are going to start to fly all over the place, more so than how it was before. Also, another change is spread decrease has been lowered by a lot, meaning how quickly your spread will reset once you stop shooting. It seems like the high rate of fire weapons like the FAMAS and AEK have seen their spread decrease lowered by over 50%. However, the long range weapons like the SAR-21, the amount of spread it decreases has gone up by 15%. But like I said, the spread decrease nerf actually applies to most weapons in the game, not just the assault rifles, so keep that in mind. Also, a few of the assault rifles, well, in my opinion anyway, I've seen overall buffs, meaning yeah, they did get some nerfs, but also received some pretty good tweaks. For example, the F2000 first shot multiplier has been massively reduced from 3.0 to 2.4, and it looks like a lot of the assault rifles got a similar treatment with lowering its first shot multiplier. However, the F2000 did get a very slight vertical recoil increase, but really, I think it's a nice trade for a lower first shot multiplier. The Ace-23 got a whole heap of tweaks. Also, I just want to point out the numbers in the brackets is what it was before, and obviously on the numbers on the left side is what it is now. But as we can see, for the Ace-23, magazine capacity has been increased to 35 rounds, which is pretty awesome, but its first shot multiplier has gone up and its side to side recoil has gone up very slightly, nothing really too major. The AEK first shot multiplier has been reduced from 3.0 to 2.55, but side to side and vertical recoil has gone up by a decent amount. And pretty much every assault rifle has seen similar tweaks. I'll leave a few examples on screen. The M416, M416A4, the SCAR H has had some changes like more side to side recoil and slightly higher first shot multipliers, and less spread decrease like I said before. As for the PDWs, basically they're more accurate while on the move. The max spread when aiming down sight while on the move has been reduced from 1.5 to 1.3, and that's a global change for every single PDW. And just like the assault rifles, pretty much every PDW is seeing side to side or horizontal recoil decreases. Probably the biggest change out of all of them is the AS-VAL. Its first shot multiplier has been massively reduced, down from 3.5 to 2.55. Also, its vertical recoil has taken a fairly big decrease, as you can see, and its spread increase per shot is lowered as well. So overall, for the AS-VAL, it's seen a fairly big buff. The MPX has seen a really good buff, but also seen a slight nerf. Its magazine capacity has been increased from 25 rounds to 30, but at the moment, it's not currently in CTE. It will come in a later patch. However, it did get a few nerfs. Like I said, its first shot multiplier is now 2.4 up from 2.1, and its horizontal recoil is now higher. That's probably the most significant changes for the PDWs. The rest, like I said before, are just slight tweaks to recoil and slightly adjusted first shot multipliers. Nothing really too major. As for the LMGs, they've gotten quite a lot of adjustments. I know this will probably piss off a few people, but I do think these tweaks are justified without degrading their overall performance. Basically, their maximum spread has been increased by a fair amount. I'll put on screen the new max spread values for each type of LMG. Just remember, the numbers in the brackets is what it was before and the new values are on the left side. But basically, this means no more holding down the trigger and hope if you put enough bullets down range, you'll kill someone. Seeing as you have so much ammo, if you want to be accurate with an LMG at medium and long ranges, you're going to need to control your fire and 2-round bursts. You can't get away with just holding down the trigger, the bullets will deviate way too much. However, it's not all that bad for the LMGs. I believe this only applies for the mag-fed ones. The hip-fire accuracy was buffed, believe it or not. I think it's been improved by around 25%, but the LMG I want to focus on more. Like I said at the start of the video, is the RPK-74M. Like I said, it's been completely reworked. I know it looks a bit messy and I do apologize for the stats, but as you can see, there's a long list of tweaks. The big one here, it now shoots at 7.62 by 39 rounds, which means a damage mole of 30 maximum and 20 minimum. I actually got really excited when I read this because I've been wanting a low rate of fire, hard-hitting mag-fed LMG for quite a while now. However, to accommodate the bigger rounds, magazine capacity has gone down to 41 rounds from 46. Also, its vertical and side-to-side recoil and first shot multiplier has been increased. And to be perfectly honest, this LMG is actually really damn impressive. I was surprised how consistent its times to kill was at different ranges. Also, its recoil is more than okay to counter. You're not going to have too much hassle. I just hope these tweaks make it over to retail BF4. Definitely going to use this LMG a lot more than I normally would. Basically, a lot of the LMGs have gotten tweaks of recoil and whatnot. I'll leave a few examples on screen, including the AWS and MG4, which did get some nerfs, including a rather big increase of first shot multipliers. Also, just a side note, this isn't just for the LMGs, but for most weapons, I'm pretty sure the damage has been slightly tweaked. At the moment, I don't have the exact stats, but when I do, I'll make sure to make a video about it sometime in the next coming days. Carbines also had similar treatment, but not as much as the other weapon groups. They only got some slight adjustments to recoil, spread decrease, and first shot multipliers. There wasn't anything too major except for the ACW-R. Unfortunately, got hit with a slight nerf. Its first shot multiplier is now 2.5 up from 2.3, horizontal and vertical recoil has gone up, which is a little disappointing to me because the ACW-R is one of my favourite weapons in the game. I'll put more examples on screen of tweaks to other carbines so you can get a rough idea of what's been changed. But overall, as for global changes to weapons in the game, like I said, I know there's been damage tweaks, but I don't know the exact stats. I'll leave that for another video. And the suppression mechanic is completely different now. I was actually shocked to see how powerful it is, but it seems like suppression only affects the longer ranges. It won't affect weapons in their effective range. Like I said, I'll leave the suppression for another video so I can get more detail with it and do some in-game tests to see what exactly is going on. But as for gun balance, I think DICE are just trying to define each weapon group more than it currently is in retail BF4. At the moment, some of the tweaks are justified, but I do think the overall spread decrease for a lot of the weapons is maybe going a little bit too far. But like I said before, this is just in CTE, so tweaks are to be expected. Anyway guys, let me know your thoughts about these changes. If you agree or disagree with any of them, make sure to leave your feedback on the BF4 Reddit gun balance page. I'll leave a link down below. If not, just leave a comment explaining what you like or dislike. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.